Hey, it's Jay Mohr, and please do me a favor. If you're going to shop at Amazon, don't go to Amazon. Go to jmohr.com, click on the Amazon banner. That will redirect you to Amazon. Basically, Amazon, they just want to know that you got there through my website. Email me what you bought. I'll read it on this podcast and make you famous. Amazon banner, jmohr.com. And for crying out loud, buy some T-shirts while you're there, too.
To the insurance company that did me wrong. I've moved on and am happily insured with another. Bless your pea-picking heart. It was just never meant to be betwixt us. You gave me automobile insurance apprehension. And Geico has come along and in just 15 minutes given me new car insurance and made me as jubilant as a newborn lamb in springtime. And Pa has given Geico his approval. That's one thing you never had. Joyful with another. Clara May in Columbia.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you wanna battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man!
Mohr Stories podcast. Jim Jeffries is back. This is like your fifth time on the podcast.
It feels like more.
Feels like more?
Yeah, if it doesn't feel like... I know, it feels about five's about right. Yeah,
it's like old home week. It's always good when you're on.
Yeah,
because you always have great stories and you do the heavy lifting.
Well, I look, every podcast I'm sure I get weaker. I'm sure the stories get thinner and thinner. I must be out of good ones by now.
No, you've had a lot of good stories.
I got a couple for you, actually. I got some.
Let me get your dates done.
Geared up, man.
If anybody wants to see Jim Jeffries do stand-up, Orlando at the Hard Rock Live in Orlando, that's Thursday, like right now. Thursday, like in a couple days, January 15th, Orlando at the Hard Rock Live. And then my favorite place, Tampa, the Straz Center, Ferguson Hall, January 16th. That's a Friday. Then Saturday, January 17th, Richmond, Virginia, at the National. My man, Jim Jeffries. Orlando, Tampa, Richmond,
hang on.
back.
I've got a gig also on the Sunday in St. Louis.
Not a lot of comics play St. Louis. St. Louis, Missouri.
I forgot I had a fourth one, St. Louis, yeah.
So on Sunday, you're at the Pageant Theater, January 18th, St. Louis, Missouri. So
I haven't gigged in a month.
You haven't done any stand-up in a month?
I did like a show on the 3rd at the Improv, just like a solo thing, just to...
It's fun. The Melrose one?
Yeah, I felt a bit rusty, so I went down and thought I'll book in a show to...
I like the Melrose Improv because it's smaller and it's kind of like when they used to do like MTV Unplugs.
And the people there are nice. The staff are nice. And and now that they've got a barbecue place in the front, you get yourself like a brisket sandwich. It's pretty good.
We're easy people, comics. It's amazing when you hear about comics that are just cunts on the road. Like they make the guy pull their hair out. And it's like, it's so easy. You sleep till 1, you wake up, you walk around the town, you get a coffee, you go back to bed, you wake up, and they're like, you want a brisket?
You walk around the town, you're way ahead of what I do.
I gotta find the Starbucks, and then I go back.
What I've started to do now is, I think my support acts think it's because I'm cheap, but it's because I get lonely. I've started sharing rooms with my support acts. Like, I'm a guy, I got a girlfriend, a kid, I'm not sleeping around anymore, so I like the company. I sleep like Bert and Ernie with my acts.
Are you Bert or Ernie?
I reckon I'm Bert. But the thing about it is that's nice is, okay, whenever I wake up, not just my current girlfriend, but any girl throughout my life, you get drunk or whatever, you wake up next to a woman and you don't know if you're in trouble. There's that feeling of doom when that person might be disappointed in something you said to their friend or something like that. But when you wake up to another drunk man in the same bedroom, they always cheer you up as soon as you wake up. They always like, oh, we were fucked up last night. And there's sort of a smile and a laugh. And
so you actually share a room with your opening act?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever woken up and he's just rubbing his anus, holding a $50 bill?
No, but I have had the occasional wank when I know they're sleeping. I have had the occasion, like one of my support acts, Forrest Shaw, is like He's like a husky guy. He's like, if he was gay, he'd be called a bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and he sleeps like you're next to a lion, just like this big, like it makes it's really a manly sound that comes out of him.
And that made you want to have a wank.
No, it means that I know he's definitely asleep.
Yeah.
Like no one makes that noise while they're awake.
Are you watching like porno on
my phone or on an
Your
iPad or
phone?
something like that?
What's the number? 877 wank next to bear.
Like, it is sad that I've gotten all this way with my career and I still masturbate off my phone next to a sleeping man.
There's probably no weirder feeling like right as you're masturbating, you're like, oh, I'm getting away with it. He's asleep. And then right after you ejaculate, you're like, oh, this is horrible.
Oh, yeah, that sadness afterwards. Or if you come and then the support act like leaves it for like 30 seconds and then goes to the bathroom. Like they've been awake and they just know you need some private time. They didn't want to say anything.
And you really just do it because you're lonely.
I'm worse if I'm by myself. I'm masturbating horribly a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, no, I like the company. Yeah, I get lonely very quickly. So I like to have a friend. And it's not for the nighttime sleeping. It's for the daytime
goofing off.
Yeah, the daytime goofing off. You're watching game shows and you gamble on fucking Jeopardy or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
good pranks too.
Yeah,
opening acts. They kind of have to do what you say.
They have a little bit of their job security is dependent on you. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like Elvis Presley, the Memphis Mafia. There's not a chance that he didn't treat them like shit from time to time. Like all that, like, hey, you're my best friend. I'll just give you some money so you can all that type of bullshit.
Do me a favor, man. Put your head in the oven.
Yeah.
See, break the old record at 11 minutes.
Yeah. Walk around and say, I'm a little bitch. Do it. I'm Elvis, and I'm a bit drugged up.
Elvis would have been 80 last week, and then
80 today was his birthday.
Well, this will come out on Monday.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me, we're recording on full disclosure on a Thursday night, beautiful on the west side of Los Angeles.
Sorry.
Fake Mustache Studios with Jim Jeffries. JimJeffries.com. It's JEFFERIES. Yes. Do your thing, people, and go see him do his stand-up comedy.
I'm also gigging. I got some gigs that I've just announced, extra dates in Canada, and I got an Australian tour coming up in April, which tickets are on sale now. But in the Canada ones, I'm the first comic to be in the Kitchener gig after Cosby.
What's Kitchener?
Kitchener is a place in Canada.
Well, do you know what province?
I don't know. But the people, people in Kitchener know.
Canada's enormous.
Yeah, I'm going up there.
It's bigger than the United States.
I sell better in Canada than I do in the States.
This podcast, I sell more tickets in Canada than the United States. Like I can go to Edmonton and sell it out like 1,500 seats, and it's all podcast.
I like to think that they're more comedy savvy, but it might be that they're just really bored.
Yeah,
I don't want to belittle the Canadian folk, but
I did. Comics go there.
I did like 3,000 tickets in Saskatoon, and people are like, "What did you go to Saskatoon for?" And I go, "Because 3,000 people wanted to see me in Saskatoon."
That is the question most asked. I think of guys like headlining comics, like you, me, and guys. You know, it's like, "Why did you come here?" And it's like, "Well, I work for a fee."
Yeah.
And this place hit my fee, and it was so successful. I had to add a show, and then I got my fee again. So so Kitchener, a place in Canada, you don't know where it is.
Let's put it this way: Cosby plays it.
It's big.
It's big enough to keep a secret.
Was he able to play there? Or is that one of the ones that got canceled?
This was the one where they all protested out the front and started like booing the people walking into the theater. Like this was last night on the news, so it's like last week.
Audience members.
Yeah, and then some of them were like, "No, I don't think he." I don't know why they're all from the south in this story because they're really northern people. But they were all like, "I don't think he's a really good man," and blah blah blah. You know.
I mean, it is amazing. Like with Cosby,
I'm just going to check the dressing room. I'm going to really check it for rape. I'm gonna have a look around.
You have like a black light.
It feels like he didn't fuck him. It feels like he was big into drugging and fingering.
And
all in all,
the big thing that I read was he allegedly, of course, he would drug them and then just put his cock in their hands when they were sleeping.
Yeah.
It's too bizarre for words.
Would that really be the worst day of your life? Like you would, like I know it's bad. Rape in all forms, for the most part, is bad, right? Don't get me wrong. For the most part,
for the most part,
it's funny. That's why I say things.
No, I was just leading you down more, throwing breadcrumbs. Keep going.
Anyway, so but if Cosby's fingering you and you wake up even if I as a man was being fingered in the ass and I woke up to his face, like his hilarious face.
Jim.
Yeah, going zoom like that at me.
Fingers in the butt, the drugs in
Tell
the
me
thing,
that's
and
the
the bear sleeping in the bed next to you.
Tell me that's the worst day of your life. It's a bad day, but it's like, well, get out of it, Bill.
Well,
What's
to these
wrong with
women, it's obviously the worst day of their lives. They're coming. What I want to know, I would never question a victim or an alleged victim, but it is. Like, if I got raped, I'd be out there the next day, like, banging pots and pans in the street, telling everybody I want the guy to go down.
Sure.
So, it's I think
But he was
some of them are like 18 years.
I feel like a lot of them at the time thought that they would not be heard.
Yeah.
I think he was a very powerful man when he did most of the raping. I mean, if he
It's
did
a
it,
powerful act. It's not a sexual act.
Look, you'd heard the rumors for years, right?
I did, actually, yes.
I'd heard it for years.
Let me be very clear. I never heard rumors about rape. I had rumors that he was had an insatiable sexual appetite.
I heard rumors of, and these are just rumors because these haven't even been brought out, but I heard rumors from different touring managers that I had, so I won't say who, but I've had different guys, who said that his rider is a private jet and teenage prostitutes.
Really?
Yeah, that was, and I heard that years ago, that whenever Bill went on the road, there had to be a couple of, we're not saying 16-year-old, but 18-year-old hookers had to be on the plane for the zoom to zoom.
For the zoom and the zip and the finger and the hand and the penis and the zip and the say.
Yeah.
But that's in the rider?
That was sort of like
that's power when you are
but
so
I could get
above.
I could get that if I had the money. I could now get my touring manager to get me a prostitute if I so wished.
Right, but to put it in the contract rider.
Oh
makes
no,
you a
it was. I don't
psychopath.
think there was a contract there. I think that was the said.
It was
rider.
understood.
It was understood that
It was an
Mr. Cosby
understanding.
liked the zoom to the zoom.
See, you're playing Kitchener in Canada. Do you know when that is?
It's-
Before we started, Jim goes, I got dates to promote.
It's in February somewhere.
Before we started, I go, hey, you got any dates you want to promote? Jim goes, yeah, I'm going to be in Orlando. I go, when? He goes, I don't know. I go, well, where are you playing? I go, are you at the Improv? He goes, no, it's this bigger place. I go, well, wouldn't it be easier if you told me? So I actually had to go to JimJeffries.com and look up all of Jim's dates, which again...
It's worse being me. Okay, so here we go. Kitchener, February 5th. That's coming up.
Oh, boy.
And we got...
That is in, it doesn't even say...
Ontario, Kitchener, Ontario.
Okay, the Square in Kitchener, Ontario. Big Canadian following. And then you're making your way through Ontario. Sudbury Arena, February 6th. You play big rooms, Jim Jeffries. You, my friend, are what they call
I think this is
a
my last
massive
year.
talent. I'm serious. There's some comics. If I went up there, I'd play a 300-seat comedy club. You're playing the theaters, and you don't have to sweat out the tickets. They're sold, right?
Yeah. Look, some of them like this weekend coming up. There's a lot left in Orlando, but I think Tampa's pretty much all sold out, and I think St. Louis's ticket sales. You never know. There's something like Australia. I always sell out. I do very well there, and I do very well in Canada, and then in America, there's some town. I know I'll always sell out in Boston. I'll always. There's New York will always sell out, but I don't know. Some places, it's just a fucking roll of the dice,
You being an Australian British American,
right?
It's weird. Australia to me is weird because it seems like you get Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, and you got all these huge, massive cities, and then the entire middle of the country.
Yes.
What is your Colorado, Nebraska, Iowa? Just nothing.
Just guys with sticks, yeah.
Yeah. Why hasn't Australia?
There's not enough water.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of water in Nevada, but they made casinos there.
Yeah, true. It's they always go on about California being that's a real drought. The middle of Australia is red dirt. It's not even.
Well, then how do the guys with sticks get by?
Oh, because they know how to get bush tucker and to drink water from a special tree or a plant or something. I don't know. Bush tucker, mate.
What's bush tucker?
Bush tucker is the thing that Aboriginals eat food. There's a guy off the TV called the Bush Tucker Man. He's not an Aboriginal. He's just an Aussie bloke. He's just out here. To you people, this might look like barren wasteland, but to me, I can just see that it's teeming with food. He uses the word teeming a lot.
Teeming.
Yeah. and he picks up a little bug and he goes, this is also protein, but the blood works as a fluid and a thing, and then he'll suck the juice out of that, or, he just lives off the dirt.
You ever watch
I'm not saying they're happy people.
No. You ever watch that show, Naked and Afraid?
No, I have not.
I think it's on Nat Geo, and basically you and say Corey, who's recording tonight, You guys, like, you're a survival expert, she's a survival expert, and then we drop you like in the middle of like the Sahara Desert, but you meet for the first time.
Always a cameraman.
Right, but you meet naked. You have no clothing on.
Right.
And then you're allowed to bring one item on this show. And somebody always brings a fire starter.
Yeah.
And the other person always brings like a knife. And I always thought to myself,
I'd bring a box of tissues.
For when you wanted to have a wank?
Just to clean her off afterwards.
You know what? Nobody's ever had sex on Naked and Afraid. They always wind up arguing.
We need to keep warm. Come with me.
Come with me. We're going to get warm in a very specific part.
Or I'd bring a condom so I could drink it afterwards. So I could keep my protein.
You know that might gross a lot of people out, but Jim Jeffries has said on the Mohr Stories podcast before that about once a month, Jim will masturbate and ejaculate into his own mouth.
By accident. I don't ejaculate on purpose into my own mouth.
That's not what you said.
No, it happens.
You said you wanted to know, like, the viscosity, how you were doing.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about, because I'm a shooter, so often
not a blobber.
Often when I'm on my back, I get the basketball swish into the back of the throat, right? But sometimes,
hold on a second, you ejaculate.
I get real good distance on my cum.
And you shoot so hard.
On
occasions.
occasions.
Not even like it hits the back of your throat.
I've had cum on my headboard from me laying on my back.
Okay, but can I ask a question?
It's shot over my head into the headboard.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Why not masturbate and right before you climax, maybe have your mouth closed?
Because when you come, you go,
But
who comes with their mouth shut? What psychopath goes?
You want to? I have an answer. The guy
like that. Who does that?
The guy who hits the back of his throat with his own cum. The second time he goes.
Yeah, but when it does happen, you laugh. It's a humorous tale. You go,
buttermilk and Clorox. What a familiar taste.
This reminds. Okay, because of the horrible things. Okay, yesterday, me and the girlfriend took my son to a preschool. Right. He had it was expensive, like a $1,500 a month preschool.
It's crazy. Yeah.
There's like a waiting list to get in. This one's meant to be the good one, and they make the kids come down and play, and then you're meant to watch the kids. And if your kid plays good, then the kid might get in. You know what I mean? So there's a lot hinging on this play date.
And the kid's 2.5.
Just two. Birthday's in November. He's like, bang smack 2.
Hope he plays well with other 2-year-olds. Yeah, that's the curriculum.
So we bring him down, and I already find out that in the car journey, Kate said on the application form, she wrote my occupation down as sitcom writer, which I have done, but I wouldn't call that my main occupation. That is 10% of my. I'm a stand-up comedian. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I said, "Why'd you do that?" And she goes, "I don't want them Googling you." Oh. And then we don't get into the special school because you're talking about coming in your mouth on podcasts with Jay Mohr. Behind
every good man is a great woman. She's very smart.
Very smart. But I still felt a little bit like, I'm paying for all this. Why? I should be fucking, wow, isn't it good that this guy makes a good living out of coming in his own mouth? That should be, there should be I'm not asking for a parade. I'm just saying that people should...
college application, maybe that's more like a liberal arts school.
So anyway, I'll have some Gatorade because I'm so tired.
The Jim Jeffries show on FX, it's gone. What happened?
Geez, this is a long story. Well, it got moved to FXX. FXX, in my opinion, wasn't really ready for...
That's FX2, really?
With 2 X's, yeah. Wasn't really ready to launch yet before it had The Simpsons and stuff, so our ratings weren't awesome. And then there was some... The showrunner wasn't really getting along with the network, in my opinion, or that's never... And that's basically why it's been fun. My relationship with FX is still very good.
Good.
And I've got something in the pipeline I'm working on that I've sold that I can't say too much about.
You don't have to say a lot about it, but I do have to tell you this because my wife told me to tell you this.
Right.
Because you and my wife have the same wicked sense of humor. And she told me to tell you in all sincerity, if you ever get a job and she doesn't play your love interest, she's going to kick you in your cunt.
I have a gig that she might be perfect for.
Well, she wants, and very specific. Like she wants to work with you. She likes Peter O'Fallon, who directed your show for a little.
Well, see, that's the person who didn't get along with the network. So let's not worry about Peter. Won't be on this next job.
So, well, you're the guy, and it was a good show. It was fun. So I'm glad your relationship with FX is still good, because you're too good not to be on TV, Jim.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I have a dream of maybe one day bringing Legit back, because I just really like the cast and I like the show, and it made like 3 top 10 lists this year, even after being cancelled. You know, at the end of the year when all the magazines give their like top 10 shows of the year or whatever, and it's still, you know. So it was a good show, man. And what I liked about it was that it was really nice with the disabled folk and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, you hired a lot of disabled people, which we applaud. We have a special aunt in our family, so we thought that was always really cool.
The guy who played Rodney, Nick Daly, was on TMZ, and that's when I felt like the show made it.
Where did they catch him coming out of?
He just fucking walks around.
Physical therapy?
No, he just walks like 5-6 miles a day, because he's got this syndrome called Peter-Willie syndrome, and a lot of people with that syndrome, because their nerves are all fucked up, they eat themselves to death because they never feel full.
Oh.
So I think his parents just drop him on the side of the road and he walks like 10 miles a day. Like he just... I'm going for a walk.
Peter-Willie syndrome.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're full, so you just keep going to eat until you die.
I researched it after I met him, but that's one of the things. I remember once seeing him eat a donut behind a trailer, like someone sneaking heroin. You know what I mean? Like he was like, and I went, "G'day, Nick," and he goes, "I'm only having one." I didn't even know it was a thing. But anyway, they asked him out fast. Anyway, so the playgroup thing, we go down there. My son, who, incidentally, he's not like sits on Santa's lap, doesn't fucking cry. He's a good kid, right? Never plays with other kids, doesn't cry, he's a good kid, doesn't scream, whatever. He was getting over a cold or something. He was the biggest cunt ever at this thing. I've never seen a child, like all the other children who bought for the playgroup, he just was a fucking nightmare. Just the lady comes up and goes, "Hello, Hank, do you want to play today?" And he went, "No!" And I'm like, you're not going to hope this isn't the test for fucking Harvard later in life. Like, this kid's not going to get into any school. And then he's playing, and then like he hit a girl who came to steal a truck off him. And I watched it. This girl did go to just steal a truck out of his hand, but he shouldn't have hit her, you know. And then they all had to sit in a circle and sing songs, and he wasn't going to fucking do that. And then, like, they gave him goldfishes and water, those little goldfishes, and he smashed his on the floor. And I'm just, and I'm like...
I spit all over your fucking body laughing.
I'm like, I've never seen him behave like this.
Smashed his...
He never been like that before, yeah. And I'm like,
get his goldfish away from me.
And so I was sitting there going, maybe he's a prick. Like, I've always seen him... When he's just me and him, he's always been super nice. But maybe he's a... And then, like, do I discipline him? Like... And now I'm like, all right, we'll go to another one. We'll go to your backup school.
Yeah, you fall back.
But my son's not autistic. He's not got any behavioural problems. The doctors say he's all good. Where did the behavioural problem kids go? They mustn't pass any of these auditions, these play auditions. There must just be a school full of them.
They work on Legit.
Yeah, they work on Legit, yeah.
My son with me, like if I get up with him in the morning, it's just easy like Sunday morning. Easy.
Yeah.
No, we got a nice routine. If I have a nanny, we've had the same nanny. My 12-year-old has the same nanny. St. Teresa, this lady's the greatest human being, member of the family. Like when you can fly your kid someplace without you with a nanny, like that's a special.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Meet us there. Let us be there for a week. Then you fly out with the baby. Like that's somebody you really trust, right?
Pretty good, yeah.
When she shows up, he's a complete asshole, like crazy, screaming. And I'm like, I don't know why this behavior. He'll say, I want Teresa, I want Teresa, I want Teresa. Then the moment he shows up, he's like a fucking asshole and crazy and screaming at her.
I think, like, my kid's better behaved with me than he is with his mother. And I think it's just because he knows that he can get away with less with me. But in saying that, I don't really discipline him, really. Like, but he's good as gold around me. I do a timeout here and there.
Yeah.
You know.
It is so funny when you're a kid, when they're kids, mine's 3 years, is 2, they have no concept that all they have to do is stand up and walk away.
Yeah.
You sit there, you're in timeout. And they'll sit there for like 15 minutes and they have no idea. Like if you tell a grown-up, like, you know what, I'm so mad at you, go stand over there and don't move, you would just walk away.
I can't get over that.
Kids are dumb.
It works so well. It
The
works.
timeout?
It's like I always think to myself, how is this a punishment? Like I used to get hit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my kid now timeout, and he sits there like with his lip out, like, and I always think, thank God the Nazis didn't know about timeout, eh? Could have been a lot worse for the people in the concentration camps if they had timeouts on top of their other problems.
That would have been definitely a new wrinkle to the entire Holocaust. Not to be confused with Alcoholocaust, one of Jim Jeffries' stand-up specials. But your last one won an award for the best comedy special of the year.
We just won an online poll. I don't know if you'd call that award. There's no trophy. But we only found this out because
we'd all like to win some type of poll online where people...
I've never won a trophy in my life. Have you ever won a trophy?
I've won medals, like wrestling medals.
I've never won one for like comedy or for sport or anything.
But they gave you the medal, but there wasn't a ribbon attached to it. It was in like a little glass plastic case. So I thought it was going to be like Star Wars. You win the match. You wrestle like 6 times that day. And the last wrestling match you win, you get first place. And they go, and first place from Verona High School, JJ back then, JJ Mohr. And then I thought it was going to be like Star Wars where I got like walk down the line and the stormtroopers to the left. And then I bow my head and they put it over me. And some guy just hands me this like metal in a plastic thing.
And like Star Wars, like Chewbacca doesn't get one, even though he contributed in every fucking way. He flew planes, everything. Luke and that gets a fucking... The rest of them, like C-3PO and R2-D could get a buff up. Right, they look all nice. They're all buffed.
A buff up,
right?
They got detailed.
Yeah, they got detailed. And Chewbacca, I'm sure he got a shampooing or something. No, he doesn't.
Paws and claws, mobile grooming.
No, he's a fucking pet. He's just a fucking. It's like. But I think even like police dogs get medals.
Yeah.
When they do something cool, but not Chewbacca. Chewbacca has to announce that everyone getting their medal.
And police dogs don't get to wear their medals.
No, they probably eat them, stupid animals.
I like in the military that the military dog has a rank higher than the guy with the dog. That way you have to like go out of your way to like save the dog. So I always used to, whenever I do like military shows, I go, oh, that's always great because it's the first time you'll ever see your commanding officer licking his balls. Like if you're a sergeant, the dog's a lieutenant, etc.
Well, when I was in Afghanistan... I almost brought a dog back to Britain. I was living in the UK at the time, but there was a dog there that was a bomb dog who he'd just found a bomb. And once they find a bomb, that's game over. A bomb that exploded near him.
Yeah.
So now he was a bit, but excellent trained. Sit, walk, like the best fucking.
Yeah.
It's like having a good girlfriend, just always scared of you. We'll do obedient. I was like, I need this dog.
You do your Cosby voice to the dog all the time? Would you like to go for a walk and give me the food? Jim Jeffries, I got to get to my Amazon banner quickly. As you guys know, if you go to jmohr.com and click the Amazon banner, I get a little kickback, and that goes to my kids' school. It's a direct deposit. So whatever, I don't make any money from the Amazon banner.
Right.
It goes right to my kids' education. It's direct.
It goes
deposit.
towards his education or towards the school?
Towards like when he goes to college. Everybody.
Oh, a college fund.
Yeah, if you go to instead of going to Amazon, basically Amazon wants to know that you got there through my website. They just want to know the traffic.
Oh yeah.
And email me what you bought, like Mike Harmon. I went to Dear JJ, I went to jmohr.com and used the Amazon banner to buy my daughter a Peaches and Cream Barbie.
Peaches and Cream
and a Barbie Cruiser. Also recently got the Mohr Stories app on my phone, and holy shit, what a game changer that was. I don't care about rush hour traffic anymore because I get to sit and listen to you and my favorite comedians the whole time. Please let me know.
Does he only have 1 hour of traffic a week?
No, he probably listens to a bunch. Please let me know next time.
No wonder he's not bothered about it. It seems like he's never fucking in it.
No, he is none. He works at home. Please let me know next time you're coming to San Diego. Mike Harmon. Mike Harmon, guess what? February 26th, that's a Thursday. February 27th is a Friday. February 28th, American Comedy Company in San Diego. Go to the Thursday show. I get a little bonus. If you guys sell out that February 26th Thursday show. And see, I play these little comedy clubs, and Jim Jeffries at these big theaters. I did play the Straz Center.
My son isn't going to college.
But
I haven't worked out a system for that.
Look.
You can't get into fucking preschool.
Well, he had a bad day.
How's he going to get into college, this kid?
He had a bad day.
Yeah,
Leave him alone. Do you take him home and go like, you acted bad? You can't.
No, I couldn't stay mad at him. He's adorable.
You don't really stay mad at anybody, do you?
No, he's adorable. I tell you, we're in the Palisades right now. It's Palisades, right?
Yes, sir.
I made a movie here a couple of months ago. I was filming a film just around the corner.
What
in a big mansion.
What was it?
It's a film. I don't know what the name of it is yet. It's going to be called like Killing David Hasselhoff or Celebrity Death Pool or something like that. And it's like me, Ken John, and Rhys Darby are in a death pool, and we decide to kill David Hasselhoff. Is the whole premise of the film? You met the Hoff. When I met the Hoff, he was standing next to the Knight Rider car in a
Here?
Yeah.
I missed that shit on my own street.
Yeah, he just up the road. Like it was meant to be his house. Was the set?
But I could have met Kit.
Yeah,
I would have been Move Hasselhoff. Where's Kit? Did Kit get a medal?
He was standing next to Kit in a karate gi. And he's like, hey, Australian. I love Australia. We go to Australia. What's that place in Perth? And I go, Perth? He goes, that's the one. Yeah, I do. My albums sell good there. He's a force of nature. And he's like 60-something, and he does like push-ups before he goes out and set. He's sort of like still really handsome, and I'm quite taken by David Hasselhoff, yeah.
Hasselhoff's your guy?
I like him, yeah. I thought he was all right. He got angry at me one day, so I can say this because it's already out, right? So Justin Bieber has a cameo in the movie, right? And
never say never.
Exactly. And so the whole joke is that he's the voice of the Knight Rider car. Right?
Bieber is.
Yeah, Bieber's the voice of Kit. That's funny. Good, right? Yeah. Anyway, so the inside edition or whatever, the guy that's sort of like what's his name, Michael something. He's like half black, sort of cheesy, sort of looking guy. He's a nice bloke. He does the interviews Anyway, one of those entertainment guys, right? And he comes out and he goes, "Okay, look, Justin Bieber is just on the set. Can anyone tell me what he was doing?" And then they edit it together because Ken John's like, "You got to see the movie," and then David Hasselhoff goes, "Oh, you're not getting that secret out of me. You'll have to come and see the movie." And then I was like, "He's the voice of Knight Rider." I gave it up.
But I like how they think that's going to like drive people to the theaters. Like, what is this Bieber secret? I got to go see this yet to be titled movie.
Well, that's what I thought as well. So the next day, I'm walking around, I'm standing next to Rhys Darby, and me and Rhys are chatting in our New Zealand Australian way, and Hasselhoff comes up to me and he's a bit angry. "You ruined one of our big things. You ruined it."
Was he still wearing the karate gi?
I think he was topless.
He really is the Vladimir Putin of America.
I'll show you a picture later, but yeah, he was like had his shirt off and just rocking around, and he wasn't.
You ruined our big thing,
and then people already know about the Bieber thing, and I'm like, fuck, well, I didn't mean to ruin anything. I'm just. People ask me a question, I fucking answer the thing. The weird thing about the movie is I got cast and they were like about a week later they're like, "Oh, by the way, you're doing an American accent." I'm like, "What?" And they go, "Oh, we got Rhys Darby in the film. He can't do an American accent. We can't have two of you with those stupid accents." So,
were you able to do it?
We'll find out.
They should have Bieber doing an Australian accent as a kid.
I don't think my American. They brought in an accent coach. Who would come and say things to me like, "That was really good, except for this word and that word's wrong as well." And I'd be like, I only said 7 words. You just said 4 of them were shit.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting me to sound a little weird.
You know what? You'll probably have to loop it with the guy next to you.
Yeah.
You know? You go in later and you loop it. That's the weird thing. Like, people don't realize the weird shit you got to do when you do a movie. And certainly Jim and I are not complaining because it's too bizarre for words. I'm going to tell you right after these commercials. DraftKings is America's favorite one-week fantasy sports site where you could win enormous cash prizes every time you play. Look, everybody's playing fantasy sports. Why not make money doing it? True story. Dave from Boston, guy won $1 million in one day playing fantasy football at DraftKings. That's a good day not at the office. So did Matt from Florida and Ray from New Jersey. These guys get paid. In fact, DraftKings has crowned a new millionaire nearly every week this season. The football action even continues throughout the playoffs at DraftKings.com. And be sure to check out their exciting money-making contests and other sports too, like hockey, college, and pro hoops. You've been hearing about big winners at DraftKings all year. Now it's your turn to win huge cash. Head to DraftKings.com now. Use my promo code MOHR, M-O-H-R. Play for free in the $100,000 fantasy football contest this weekend. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter MOHR, M-O-H-R, for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com. More blades means a closer shave. Most people think adding blades and buying the most expensive razor will ensure a close, bump-free, nick-free shave. Fact! More blades do cost more money. They do not necessarily give you a more comfortable shave. It's more important to spend a little more on a better shave cream. Oh, I got your attention. Talking about shave cream, people. Let me tell you something. All you got to do is get a better shave cream. Shaving gels and foams are mostly air. Air is not a lubricant, okay? Trust me, I know this. It causes irritation and discomfort. Cremo, that's what I'm talking to you about. Cremo, C-R-E-M-O, Cremo is an impossibly slick, foam-free shave cream. It comes in a tube, not a can. Almost any razor will glide effortlessly and comfortably over your sensitive skin when you use Cremo with virtually no bumps, burn, or irritation. Want a better shave? Try upgrading your shave cream. Get Cremo at Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS Pharmacy. Red cap, white tube, Cremo. Hey guys, Jay Mohr here. I'm your guy. I tell you the truth. Look, the cold weather is here, and for many of us, including me especially, that means dry, itchy winter skin. Instead of using the same old anti-itch products this winter, I want to challenge you to try something new. It's called Tricalm. 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 A recent clinical study showed that Tricalm is 5 times more effective at reducing itch than 1% hydrocortisone, which is a topical steroid. Tricalm works on skin irritations like the dry, itchy skin people get during colder months. I'm one of those people. Tricalm works without the unwanted side effects of steroids. Plus, Tricalm is backed by the itch-free guarantee. If Tricalm does not stop your itch, you can mail them the empty tube and you get a full refund. If you have dry, itchy winter skin, get a tube of Tricalm for your medicine cabinet, your car, your desk, at work. It's guaranteed itch relief that's 5 times more effective than hydrocortisone with none of the side effects of steroids. Find the white and blue box in the anti-itch aisle at Walmart, Walgreens, and CVS Pharmacy. Tricalm. So, like, you do a movie like Jim's just talking about, and then it's like your second week or like, I don't know, 5th day, 4th day on the set, and somebody will just come up to you and go, hey, your Access Hollywood interview's in a half hour. And you go, I don't know what you're talking about. And they go, well, we sent you the email that all the press people are going to be on set today. They've been filming B-roll all day. B-roll means there's a guy in the corner filming every fart joke, every time me and Jim did like Cosby imitations. Yeah. That guy's like, that's in their vault. When I went up to Jim and said, "Smell my finger," it smells like.
Sometimes it's the arrogancy of the TV show or the movie you're doing that they really think people are going to want to watch the extra features.
Well, that's true, but
they're working on behind the scenes.
Just the fact, like, you forget, and as you should, you get an email like a week out saying they're going to be shooting B-roll all day just to let you guys know.
You're drugging girls and raping them in your trailer, and then you're like, someone film that? It's a bomb,
Mario Lopez at the Grove is going to go, we have inside scoop of Jim Jeffries with teenage prostitutes in a Cosby sweater next.
Mario Lopez, he's so dreamy.
He is dreamy.
Yeah.
He can do like 500 push-ups. Here's the other weird thing.
It's the only time that you look at someone standing next to Maria Menounos and you go, I don't know who I want to fuck.
I'm going to go Mario Lopez.
Yeah, but if you're going to have a threesome, the Menounos. You know what I like about the Menounos?
What's that?
She's probably the hottest woman on earth, but she's just... leave it another 5 years, she'll be gettable.
Even though she's married?
Yeah.
She's going to stray?
No, because... she doesn't want kids. She's going to need love somewhere.
Yeah. You could knock her up.
I might actually say that Maria Menounos was nice enough to do a spot on Legit. And
she seems nice. I mean, I've never
very, very
met
sweet.
anybody that had a bad word to say about her.
She's stunning. She's stunning. I love her.
Yeah, if you like girls, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm taking Mario Lopez all day.
Mario Lopez, yeah.
Here's the other weird thing.
What about Screech stabbing people?
Screech is in the movie?
You know about Screech?
No.
Screech is in the prison right now. He's in the prison.
Screech is in the prison and they're making love to
He was in one of those cities that no one cares about in America. It could be any one of the cities, right? He was in
New York, L.A., or somewhere else.
One of the other ones. He was in one of the ones in the middle where people are like, we've got the biggest turnip or something, you know what I mean? Like one of those places. And gets into a fight and he stabs the guy in his armpit when he's with his fiancée, right? This is the Screech is with Dustin Diamond's with his fiancée.
And he's on the road, what, doing like stand-up?
I think he was like
stand-up in quotes.
I think he was like back home for Christmas. Or someone's home for Christmas. Might have been hers, might have been his. But there was some family Christmassy Thanksgiving thing going on. All right, that was my nose. And the Screech went, stabbity, stab, stab, like that. Right? And he stabs some guy, and everyone's like, oh, that loser. And I'm like, you know what? I walk into bars, and if I hear someone yell, up, Gunter, up, and sometimes I get a little bit like, oh, shut up. You know? Yeah. Could you imagine just every day someone yelling, Screech, and then just some drunk douchebag, Screech, what do you do now, Screech? Tell me you wouldn't stab one person.
Yeah, I think I probably would, especially if they made a run at like your fiance or your girl.
Yeah, because I've never met the guy, but I have met the guy. Well, I
met the guy, and I got a great Screech story when you're done.
Well, you seem nice.
He's a little crazy.
Yeah, but
you want to hear my Screech thing real quick?
Sure. I was in a bar abusing his girlfriend. He stabbed me.
Screech stabbed me in my armpit. And then he fingered the armpit and got me to the dip. I was doing my first Conan ever.
I was doing coke. I thought that's what you were saying. I was doing
coke on Conan with my first Conan ever. You got to do pre-interviews, and they call you on the phone, and they go, "What do you got?" And you give them like 18 minutes of material.
All right, just a quick thing, because I've done these as well. This is as a guest. This isn't stand-up you're doing, right?
Correct.
As a guest, when you do it, they ring you up and they go, "What else you got? What else you got? What else you got? What else you got?"
An hour of material for 4 minutes.
And then they go, "We're going to do this story, this story, this story, and if we've got time, we'll do this story." And you're like, "Man, that's 20 minutes. What you've just said, I can do." But I always wonder, I was on one time I did Conan, the other guest, or I think I was on Kimmel, and the other guest was Jessica Simpson. And I'm like, when they rang her up, did she really give him 18 minutes of shit to tell?
What other bits do you have, Jessica?
I think when they're really famous, I think they ring up.
One time my cat ran away. It took 4 days to find it.
I think they ring them up, and the real big celebrities go, and you're not allowed to talk about this, and you're not allowed to talk about this, and you're not allowed to talk about this. Yeah. And we go, I got other shit you can just delve into my life.
Yeah, this is old, but it'll work.
I like watching the Jeopardy stories. When they're on Jeopardy, and they go, because you forget that most entertainers, even your Jessica Simpson, can tell a story better than a regular, housewife.
You're an entertainer, sure.
Yeah, she's an entertainer. Right. So you go on Jeopardy, and they walk up like that. What's his name? The smarmy cunt who runs Jeopardy. Who's that fucker?
Alec Trebek.
Alec Trebek. You know what I hate about the Trebek? He loves, if he has like a Spanish word, he goes overly Spanish.
Yeah. Sorry, we were looking for Nicaragua.
Yeah, he does that. If he's French, he goes super French.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah. Ooh. So anyway, he goes up to him and they all have to have their little story. You watch any beginning of, there must be some YouTube clip of them all like a montage of these stories.
Celebrity Jeopardy or just anybody?
Just any Jeopardy.
Yeah, all of it. Jim Jeffries from where, let's say you're not a famous comedian.
I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah, so tell us a little. I understand you like to read.
I do, Alex. I do. It's funny you should say that, because I read a book and I told my wife that I really liked that author, and for Christmas she bought me another book from that author, but it was the same book.
That is terrific.
So did you read it again? You'll say?
Yeah.
No, I didn't, because I've already read it.
Corey Fry is joining us. She's from Santa Barbara, California. So you said you want a montage of all the people just saying like their little 2 bits.
I bet you it exists. I bet you there's Jeopardy story. There's things like I used to have a kid. Yeah, I did. they say that they shouldn't sleep on their stomachs. So we let him do it, and now he's dead. So
Greg Proops was going to be the host.
What is dead?
Greg Proops was going to be the host of Rock and Roll Jeopardy.
Right.
And it was between him and one other guy.
Yeah.
And in his like final like run through ringer hoops 15 times, you got to do it for the network, you got to do it for the studio, and it's fucking Rock and Roll Jeopardy on VH1. Like, everybody relax. It's Proops. He's a great comic. He could do this shit in his sleep.
Yeah.
So like the 15th time he's in front of like the network and the this and the that, and they go, "So, how are you doing today?" That's what they asked him first, in front of like in this like theater, on the set. He goes, "Not too good." And they go, "Oh, why is that?" And they think like a weird like anecdote is coming. He goes, "I've done this 10 times, and basically this is keeping me from a joint in my car right now." And they said, "All right, thanks a lot." And they gave it to the other guy. But at least he was honest.
Yeah.
He's got a joint in his car. He's got a burner in his car. And he's like, as soon as I'm done with this, I go to my car and smoke a joint. And instead I got to do this again. Like, it's Celebrity Jeopardy. But so listen, I'm on Conan.
Yeah.
Okay, Frank
With
Smiley
Screech.
on the phone. What else? I get to Conan. I go into the dressing room of Frank Smiley comes into my dressing room and goes, "You're going to want to see this."
Yeah.
I go, "What is it?" He goes, "Screech won't do a pre-interview." And my immediate thought is, "Oh, this will be good." Followed immediately by, "Well, why was I on the phone for 2 weeks and now Screech is actually here 10 minutes before show and you still can't get anything out of him?" He goes, "Just come with me, follow me." I go into Screech's dressing room. His father weighs 500 pounds. Like, he's like one of those guys. Like
Screech's father.
Yeah, like my 600-pound lifestyle guy.
Right.
Like, I doubt he's still alive. He was like that big. It's really sad.
Yeah. You
And
could stab him in the armpit and he wouldn't notice.
No, he would not.
Right.
You could stab him probably anywhere below the neck.
Yeah.
Maybe wouldn't know it. And maybe
The
he
Screech
had
family used to
Willie
play
Peter
armpit
disease.
darts. Peter Willie disease.
Sorry, I fucked it up. So Frank Smiley goes, "Look, you have to just give us some guidelines of what Conan can ask you so we have a structure for the interview." And Screech is doing karate by himself off to the side, like doing karate moves.
Was he doing it next to the kit car?
No, this is pre-kit.
This
not
story
pre-kit.
sucks.
No, this story is great. His father, who is like wedged into this chair, has his arms folded and says, "Dustin is an improvisational genius. What part of that aren't you understanding?" And Frank Smiley goes, "I understand he's good at improv, but nobody's so good that they can ad-lib on television for 8 minutes. Like, we need it for us." And the father goes, "I will say it again for emphasis. Dustin is an improvisational genius. We do not need to be doing this." And Frank Smiley goes, like Robin Williams? And the father goes, "Indeed, yes." And so Frank Smiley goes, he was the producer of Conan at the time, he goes, "So you're telling me if I took Dustin and Robin Williams and I put them on the couch separately, different nights, with no pre-production, nothing, and Conan said, 'How was your day?' I'm going to get just as funny of a show."
Yeah.
And the father goes, "That's exactly what I am saying." Screech goes out, has nothing prepared, and all he wants to talk about is karate to Conan O'Brien. Start showing Conan O'Brien karate. If you're Conan O'Brien, this is like not gold, it's platinum.
Yeah.
You have fucking Screech from Saved by the Bell doing karate, and then it went long, and I actually got bumped.
So he actually nailed it.
But no, they were laughing at him. Like, none of it was funny.
It doesn't matter. A laugh's a laugh.
A laugh's a laugh. But the second time I went on Conan, I had to remind him, I was supposed to be here about 4 months ago. I got bumped for Screech because you were enamored by his karate. And that bought me about 3.5, 4 minutes. When you got these openers in your room sleeping, do you do like jokes on them? Do you do like Chinese fire drills or pour water on them or
No, not really.
hit the back of their throat?
I'm not really that bad an individual. I'll tell you the worst one is when... I'm sorry, Mr. Jeffries. We don't have any twin rooms at the moment. We've just got the one bed. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll pay for another room. No, we're completely booked out of rooms. This has happened a few times, right? And so I don't share the double bed with them, but they do bring up a little cot.
Yeah, those are comfy.
Yeah, for my support act to sleep at my feet.
It's nice. Emperor Hirohito.
It's always I'm laying in my king bed with them on their little toddy. They go to sleep now.
I like how you preface the whole thing about like you like the company and you get lonely, but it really is every moment of every day you establish the pecking order of the serf and the landowner. I used to do this one. I would leave the door, that bar where you lock the door. I would pull the bar and so like you could just walk in and out of my room. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I would call whoever was open. I've done it to Jim Norton. I've done it to like all these guys. I go, bro, you got to get in here right now. I can't, just run. And I would hang up the phone. And then I would get on all fours and pull down my pants. And I would moon them, but pull like my asshole open.
Yeah, sure.
And they would run into the room and go, oh, fuck. And they would run back out and it'd be a big laugh. And then I told my wife that. And she goes, you realize you doing that is gayer than if you just had them over and actually sucked their dicks.
Oh, it's like when there's that guy who's the bully who's actually gay. He's like, hey, faggot, probably like sucking dick, don't you, faggot? Why don't you suck my dick? Suck my dick like a faggot would. Yeah, you enjoying that? Keep sucking my dick. You love dick.
Yeah.
Now I'm coming. You enjoy that? Of course you do.
Now let me do you.
Now let me do you.
You're probably such a faggot, you let me blow you.
Yeah. Hey, you enjoying that cock in your ass? Of course you are, because you're a faggot.
I thought it was funny. The guys ran into my room and saw my innards, and apparently
no, that's super gay. But I'm pro.
You come in your own mouth.
But I'm a pro gay guy. It's well documented that I like the gays, except for when it comes to fast food. Look, Chick-fil-A is so good, man.
Yeah.
I never thought there'd be a chicken that I could taste that would outweigh my love for the gays. Like I'm all for gay marriage and all that type of stuff, but
because Chick-fil-A's anti-gay.
Yeah, they donate more money to anti-gay marriage than any other company in the world.
Yeah, but
right?
you're still, nothing's going to keep you from your Chick-fil-A.
No, nothing going to stop. I eat my chicken, I'll have grease all over my fingers, and I'll be like, oh, really? Not letting you get married? That's too bad.
You should bring all your gay friends to Chick-fil-A.
It's just such good chicken. And then In-N-Out Burger is like... In-N-Out Burgers, I don't know if they're anti-gay, but they're religious, and those two things sort of go hand in hand, let's be honest.
They can, yeah.
Yeah, they can go hand in hand. I'm not saying that all religious people are anti-gay either. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there is a portion of religious people who are anti-gay. Much more prevalent than in the atheist community to be anti-gay. But then, but it's good. Fucking In-N-Out's excellent. Chick-fil-A's brilliant. And then fucking Whopper, fucking Burger King. Burger King make a Pride Whopper that's wrapped in a rainbow flag. And it's fucking shit. And I'm like,
yeah.
If gay hatred's what makes this food good, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's tear down this gay community. Let's make our fast food. Let's put them all back in the closet so that food is phenomenal. You go into Arby's.
Gays are ruining it for us.
Arby's are so pro-gay that they're like, fuck, the food is so shit that they're like, you can be gay. We don't give a fuck, be gay. In fact, we don't care here at Arby's. You can fuck on our counter.
Yeah, Arby's is, you eat Arby's, you get diarrhea faster than any other food gives you diarrhea.
It's just beef.
Smells the same as it. It actually kind of smells like Arby's.
What is your guilty pleasure fast food wise? I like all of it really.
I like Carl's Jr. a lot.
I like Carl's, yeah.
But I like the ones wrapped in lettuce, not because I'm anti carb or bun.
Yeah.
I just really like it. It's wrapped up in lettuce. They get them. Oh, White Castle, not even close. Never mind.
No, White Castle's. I've only had that a couple of times.
Oh, I could crush 15 of those right now.
Yeah,
let's drive to Chicago after the podcast.
I have a guilty. I like Taco Bell a little bit. I don't know why.
A lot. I go there with that 3-year-old. He has 2 burritos by himself.
Yeah, right.
He's a house.
Is he? He's a big kid?
He's fucking huge.
My kid only eats fucking about 4 things, and we try to make him eat stuff. And he's a picky eater, man. He eats chicken, and he eats macaroni and cheese.
And ketchup on everything?
He eats eggs. He'll eat eggs, fried eggs, scrambled eggs, whatever, which I'm all it's all protein, so I'm like, all right, have some more eggs.
Does he like ketchup on everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
My son likes ketchup.
I'm like this. You like that? You like that ketchup? Makes you gay. Keep sucking it.
My son likes ketchup like a booze likes whiskey. He's like, where's my ketchup?
Yeah.
This
Remember
is
when you were a
horrible.
kid and you were really into ketchup?
Yeah, and then you get older, and it's all about the mustard and the other stuff.
I had tomato sauce on everything. I remember going to restaurants, like going, no, you're not getting it. It's a fancy restaurant.
Put ketchup on my steak.
Yeah. Like you're being like a Chinese restaurant.
So you never showed your opening act, your asshole?
Not on purpose. They've seen it.
How?
I walk around naked in front of them. I'll walk around naked.
You know what?
I walk from the shower.
What is this man's name?
Jason Whitehead and Forrest Shaw are the two guys.
Jason Whitehead.
Yeah.
And the other one name you keep doing very Australian. I can't pick it up.
Forrest Shaw.
Forrest Shore.
SHAW.
Oh, Forrest Shaw.
Yeah.
So I want to say to Jason Whitehead and Forrest Shaw, you don't have to take this.
Well,
you could be opening for Bill Burr somewhere.
They can get their own rooms, but I'd have to lower their pay. I'm a good payer.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a good payer. I pay a little bit more than... I won't tell you what, but I pay a little bit more than...
You pay those big rooms, though. You can afford... You play the big rooms. That's good.
But I know how much other people pay for the support acts. I'm
out of the support act business. Whoever they say locally is going to go up, I go, that's good. I tell the guy, you can do whatever you want. Just please don't go over. I'd rather you go under... If you're supposed to do 15 minutes, if you're going to get off at 12, that's fine. But if you do like 15 minutes, 30 seconds, then all of a sudden my mind starts getting all nutty and weird. Because we time ourselves, right?
Yeah. My thing is because I just use two guys.
Or I'll go up just alone and do an hour and a half.
Is that if... Yeah, I do that as well. But if I just use these same two guys that if they play the same room with me a year apart, they have to do what I've done. They've got to give a new 20 minutes or 15 minutes.
I love that you do that. That's good.
Because I hate it, like, if they've repeated stuff and people then are in the mindset of, it's the same show we saw last year. Even if I got
But also it makes them better comics. It's that you inspire them to do what you're doing. I think that's really good.
Well, it's only 15 minutes. If they can't write 15 minutes in a year...
Then they shouldn't be in comedy.
They shouldn't.
There was a long time where Bert Kreischer was opening for me, and then every night I brought him up to a song... but I wouldn't tell him what the song was. And the deal was your opening 5 to 10 minutes has to be about that song.
Yeah, right.
So I'd bring him up to like Girl from Ipanema by Lou Rawls. And he was just out there at the fucking San Jose Improv. But every night he fucking killed it.
Yeah.
It was like the funniest shit you'd ever seen. And like, you'll know how funny a guy is when you put him to the metal like that and he actually delivers. And you just bring him out to like Panama by Van Halen. He's got like an 8-minute story on the fly about fucking how Panama.
But if he doesn't know the song, what if he hears the song and he doesn't know it?
He didn't know Girl. But Girl from Ipanema by Lou Rawls. Tan and Lovely. No, there were a lot of songs he didn't know. Like there was weird like En Vogue and Sisters with Voices and
En Vogue. What was their big song?
Exactly. What was the last concert you saw?
Last concert I saw. I saw. And I've got a photo of this. I saw on mushrooms. Guns N' Roses because they were after me at the Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas.
How long ago was this?
This is like a few months back.
So no Axl.
No, this was the Axl show.
Axl with a bunch of guys calling themselves Guns.
Duff was there.
Really?
Yeah. And I was off my tits and I went up to the room. Afterwards.
Hold on. So it's Axl, Duff, and then a bunch of hired guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
does the guy look like Slash at all?
And so we had the same touring company. He wears a hat. The guy wears a hat.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he looks like Slash. We had the same touring company, so we went up to the party in Axl's room, and I have a photo with Axl Rose, and no one else got one.
And you're tripping balls on mushrooms?
Off my tits on mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I hadn't taken mushrooms forever.
And what was it about that night? Oh my gosh. Did you tweet this out?
No, because I did. I tweeted it out for a second, and then people were mean because no one's seen Axl Rose because he doesn't take photos with people.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone was mean about the way he looked. And I'm like, fuck you people. That's why he doesn't take photos with you cunts.
The only thing I don't like about the way he looks, look, we all age oddly, and my hair looks like a par 3 golf course for crying out loud. I know that. I have a huge forehead, but I don't like a guy with like light red hair with a mustache. That's a bad look. He should be in a van. He should be on like SVU.
Yeah, see, that's the response. Leave him alone.
No, it's the mustache, right, Corey? It's the ginger mustache. I think that throws people off. And he wears a kilt.
He doesn't wear a kilt anymore.
What song was it on mushrooms where you went, whoa, I am fully invested in this?
There's my kid Yoda at Halloween. Look at that.
You guys look good. You were Boba Fett, the best guy. The best guy in Star Wars.
You know what's weird? So I go out as Halloween, and I'm Boba Fett. Or did I say Boba Fett?
What song at Guns N' Roses were you tripping balls? That was the song that was like the best part of the show.
I can't really remember the concert. I don't remember the after party.
Really?
I remember bits of it in pieces. I'll tell you what was weird, because I hadn't taken mushrooms for the longest time.
What made you take mushrooms that night? Like, what was the thing?
It was Vegas, and they were offered up to me, and I haven't taken drugs really since.
Would you like some mushrooms and come with me?
I haven't taken any cocaine or anything since my son's been born, and I go back and forth with the drinking, but I feel like I've got a handle on that at the moment. But I took mushrooms because I was in Vegas, and it was like the first time since my son had been born that I'd sort of had like a boys' night out. I was with my support acts and everything. I went a little crazy, right? But the weird thing was, and I got given the mushrooms from, and I can't tell you who, but from an athlete that was backstage who's quite famous. You knew he was taking them.
What sport?
I'll tell you off air.
You tell me what sport. I won't guess on air.
Basketball.
Is he your gay rugby friend?
No, basketball.
Okay.
Right? So anyway, so I took the drugs with the basketball, with the booba-doo. And I was like, wow, a famous athlete's giving me drugs.
How famous are we talking?
One of the big ones, yeah.
Active?
Active, yeah.
Wow.
Right?
White guy, definitely.
I
don't think brothers.
We're not playing Guess Who.
I don't think mushrooms.
Does he have a mustache?
No. I don't think mushrooms is like a brother drug. I don't think a lot of black people are doing mushrooms.
It's because they're not good gardeners.
You could prove me wrong.
Is that a racist thing to say? Have you ever seen a black person with a tremendous garden? That's a white man's activity.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right,
that's so like White Men Can't Jump is one movie. I would say Black Men Can't Garden would be a film that we should do together.
But who would want to?
Which would be like a parody of me and you are like excellent gardeners in the street, and we don't like this guy down the road who doesn't garden as good.
And then we have a garden off to save the rec center.
Yeah. Because the young kids, where are they going to go and learn how to play basketball and fix their lives if we don't help the rec center with our roses?
I like all movies. Some white person has to help the entire black community by having a dance off.
Yeah.
Whether it's, Michelle Pfeiffer.
I was slightly racist at the beginning of the film, but now over time I've learned how to deal with these people.
Yeah. All right, so you do mushrooms. An NBA basketball player gives you mushrooms.
Yeah. And then I go do my photos. There's like 2,000 people, right? And so maybe 400 people stayed back for photos.
Well, why are you doing photos at a Guns N' Roses show? Oh, because you're on the same show.
My show had just ended.
Got it.
I was in the same room.
Gotcha.
So my show ended. I wasn't wasted on stage. I took the mushrooms, and then I was meant to do the photos. The mushrooms kicked in, and I hadn't taken them for a long time, like halfway through. I still had 100 people left. And every time a new person came and put my arm around me, I was like, yeah, just staring at them like I wasn't very hospitable to these people who were waiting in line. And if you read, if you go to the reviews on me at Ticketmaster, where people had been to that particular concert, you can see there's a whole lot of the show was good, but then it acted like he didn't want to be there when we were taking photos. Like, what a jerk. And it wasn't like I was being mean to him. I was just cringing every time someone touched me. You
thought they were like goblins.
Yeah. And my road manager looked at me and he was like, fuck, he's taking drugs. He didn't see me take the mushrooms.
When did you take them? Right before you went on stage?
I took them the second I got off stage, and they took 30 minutes to kick in, and then I sat around for 15 minutes having a smoke and a drink and everything before I went down and started doing the photos.
Yeah.
And then 15 minutes in, maybe 20 minutes in, the mushrooms kick in where I had strangers mobbing me. It felt like mobbing me. It felt like that scene in Indiana Jones when he trying to leave the tomb, and then all the dummies go around that. You know what I mean?
And they're all sweaty. And weird sweaters on.
Yeah. And they're trying to talk about comedy. What's your favorite comedian at the moment?
I saw you in Syracuse 4 years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah. There was that person in the fourth row, and you said don't do it, and then you really ripped her a new asshole. It was great.
And you're on mushrooms going, oh, I ripped an asshole in somebody.
An asshole and you rip it.
Yeah. And so then...
and then Guns N' Roses comes out how much later after that?
Guns N' Roses come out, like, I start drinking heavily. My Jason Whitehead picked up a very good-looking girl that night.
Good on you, Jason.
Yeah. He picked up a nice sort there. And I think we were asked up to the after party because we were with this particular girl. Because they wanted pretty girls up at this Guns N' Roses party. They said after the concert. Blah, blah, blah. But then, like, the tour manager was like, oh, it's AEG or whatever, and they got us up to the party. And I was a disgrace. I was just walking up and talking to people, just dribbling. Like, it was one of those ones where I should stop everything. I should just turn my life around type of a night.
Vegas is a bad place to do, in my experiences, bad mushroom, bad psychedelic town. Acid, you're going to ride the snake. It's almost, you can make believe like you're in Tokyo. But mushrooms is way more of like an outside, Santa Barbara, Babbling Brooks, nature. You want to go to a nice park in Santa Monica.
I was paranoid.
You don't want to hear bells going off 10 feet off to your shoulder. Ding, 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 ding.
I was doing a lot of like, hey, well, you seem nice. Why do you hate me? Oh, I hate myself. Oh, I love you. I was doing a lot of that. There's a lot of mixed emotions running through me.
Wow. And then did you guys go outside?
I haven't taken.
Are you on mushrooms right now?
No, I haven't taken
Would you one day...
a single drug in any form since then. Oh, no, that's not true. I've taken some edible marijuana recently.
Would you one day do mushrooms an hour before this podcast starts and do the Jim Jeffries on mushrooms on Mohr Stories? For science.
I would if there was another comic doing them with me.
Okay.
I would if there was two of us. And you can't just get me like an open spot guy.
No. I'll find, you really will if I find like a Murderer's Row, like a good comic.
Yeah, if you get me a good guy and you pay for my cab home and here.
No, of course. You have right of first refusal. I'll let you know like the finalists, and you can choose who you want to do it with.
Because it's nice.
And we'll do it. You know, we'll do it in the springtime. The garage door will be open. It'll be really nice. There'll be crickets.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. Yeah,
good time.
I like the mushrooms.
We'll go down to the beach, and when we're done,
out of all the drugs, I think the mushrooms. I tell you what, though, I did the Getting Dug with High podcast where you smoke weed. I'm not good with weed, man. It was one of the most, because on a podcast I was all right.
I haven't heard anybody say they had a good time on it.
There's 4 cameras on you. It's like you guys come into a podcast. All of a sudden, you're on like a fucking TV show.
Well, real quick, for the Doug Benson has a podcast. He's got many. Doug Loves Movies, which I've been on a couple times, but he's got one, Getting Doug with High.
Which is a funny title.
Smoke a couple joints, and then you sit down and do a podcast high.
Yeah.
And you smoke during the podcast.
Yeah.
But I always thought you should get high like 20 minutes before the podcast so you're super baked. Like getting high on camera, I'm going to be the most high when this is over, and I'm alone trying to find my fucking car in the parking lot freaking out.
Oh, I crawled up in bed when I got home. If you watch it, and I don't do bongs and stuff, and I was just coughing and spluttering. I thought I was going to die. I'm not good with weed. Weed's not my thing.
I had to stop smoking weed because I realized 2/3 of the time I was doing it, I was sitting on the toilet taking a shit, taking my own pulse for like 45 minutes at a time. I'm just sitting on the toilet going, why is my pulse 90 if I'm just sitting still? That's not right. Oh, wait, more shit's coming out.
I took so many drugs once at Glastonbury that I fell asleep in a portaloo.
Really?
Yeah,
that's a porta potty here.
Porta potty, yeah, at a music festival.
You fell asleep in it?
In the sun in the middle of the day. I fell asleep for like 4 hours. I crashed out. I didn't sleep the night before.
You must have been very well rested when you woke up.
I woke up like, I had one, I'll tell you a good drug thing. I had one where I was taking drugs in, just a mountain of drugs in Glastonbury. And this guy comes up to me, and I was walking through, and I was like looking at the food things and looking at girls walking by, and I was just by myself enjoying my own company, like, drugs. And then I went and sat on a stump, and I just sat there for a while. And then I must have sat there for 10 minutes or something. And then this the guy that works in one of the food carts comes out, and he goes, "You all right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" And he goes, "You've been sitting there for 2 hours."
On a stump.
Yeah, on a stump.
Like a Shel Silverstein
probably just
book.
Staring at chicks as well, just staring at them like very horribly. Just
sitting on a stump.
Yeah, and the worst thing on drugs is when you take drugs and then someone starts to overdose and you're not the person to be in charge because you're also on drugs.
Yeah.
And that's always awkward.
I've never been around anybody overdosing on drugs.
Oh, a few times I've been.
Nice
Jason Whitehead, he one time at Glastonbury, he fucking took too many mushrooms and he tapped me on the shoulder and went, Jim, and then his eyes rolled back in his head and he went... And he went face first into a fucking pile of mud. Like, the mud was 2 foot deep. Like, it was a music festival and just... So the mud consumed... Like, to me on mushrooms... He could have drowned in mud. To me, like, the mud consumed him and he disappeared. Like, I was like, fuck.
Did you help get him out?
I rolled him over and he's all covered in fucking mud, and then other fuckers on drugs, like, as far as I'm concerned, he's dead right now.
Yeah.
And other fuckers on drugs are coming up going, hey man, it's fucking, what's he taking?
Are you alright? Why? You've been in that mud 2 hours.
Yeah, man. You alright? Why? There's no one in the mud.
Jim Jeffries, Orlando, Thursday. Friday, Tampa. Saturday, Richmond. Sunday, St. Louis. Go see him. Jim Jeffries. There's an E in Jeffries.
Sorry, Mr. Trebek. I took drugs once. And
I understand, Jim Jeffries, once you were at a music festival and took drugs.
Yes, and my friend died. So.
Okay.
Yeah. What is death?
That is correct. Death, rigor mortis.
Have you Googled that?
I did Google.
Did stuff come up?
There's
a montage of people just saying what their thing is.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, it's not there now. All right, we'll put it up on
any one of the stories will work. They're all just shit.
We'll put it up on our new YouTube channel, Mohr Stories 37 on YouTube.
When did you get that tattoo on your wrist? Did you always have that?
I got a lot of tattoos. Yeah.
Did you always have that?
No, I got that about 2 years ago.
Yeah, but the My Life one.
My Wife, My Life, I got. That's her handwriting when she was a little girl, like her homework.
Right.
And this is my wife, and this one's my life, and this one says, "Okay, I will," because my wife. But she was. This lets you know. My wife has the lowest.
You're not just a huge Billy Joel fan.
No. My wife's got like the lowest self-esteem in the world. People are like, why don't you open a Twitter account? She's like, because you guys will never be able to convince me I'm worse than I already think I am. So it'd be fruitless because Twitter.
Is that why you're attracted to her, low self-esteem?
No.
And you want me to work with her? I don't want to be around this low self-esteem person
great.
All day. I am very fond of your wife, but
my wife wrote a book when she was like 5 years old, and it was a heart crying, and it said, "Please love me," and the next page was a heart crying. It said, "Please love," like 4 pages of just a heart crying.
Is your wife Banksy?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the last page, another heart came in and just said, "Okay, I will." So I thought that was precious, and I got it tattooed to my wrist.
And did this book get published?
Yeah, it's in the Library of Congress.
It is not.
It was voted best book by the same people that voted your DVD best stand-up.
Well, that
DVD.
was the public voted for that.
Yeah, they voted for this book as well. She was a child. She was a baby.
Yeah, but she was talented. She was an actress at what age, your wife?
7 years old. She was dancing for like Michael Jackson and Paula Abdul. She was going to go to the Bolshoi.
Why was she dancing for them?
Because she was the only 7-year-old that could dance as well as grown-ups, and it was like a freaky, like weird, amazing thing.
But did she do it in concerts, or what did she do it?
Not by herself, but she would go like with Paul. She was on stage with like the Pips and like with all these like Paula Abdul and Michael Jackson. She was in Michael Jackson videos.
Which video?
Badder, when they redid Bad with little kids. She's the only girl, and they dressed her up like a boy.
Why did they do Badder?
Because Michael Jackson thought, what would make Bad even cooler is if we remade it with all children. Frame for frame, shot for shot. We'll put that up. We can find that and put it on the YouTube channel, right? Badder. And little Nikki Cox got a little solo dancing around.
Little Nikki Cox.
Jim Jeffries. Go see him in Tampa at the Strass Center, Ferguson Hall on the 16th, 15th. I'm going back. 15 Orlando, 16 Tampa, 17 Richmond, 18 St. Louis.
St. Louis, the spirit of.
Spirit of. Gateway to the West, we used to call it, Jim.
Really? What does that mean?
It means back in the day when we had 13 colonies all on the East Coast, St. Louis was considered like the fucking Wild West. It was the frontier. That's why I have the giant arch. It's the gateway to the West. And
right.
Don't fuck up my plug.
That's because he walks around the town. I didn't even know there's a gateway.
The giant arch? It's the arch. You really don't know there's an arch in St. Louis?
I didn't
oh,
know.
my God. Jim Jeffries.
Gateway to the west. Or gateway to the east, depending on which direction you're going in.
That's exactly the attitude we need around here, Jim Jeffries. That's correct.
Yeah, I'm giving.
February 26th, 27th, 28th, come see me at American Comedy Company in San Diego. Brother, this is great. This is the best. I love having you.
I like being here. I'm going to get a tattoo. It's going to say J. Mohr, and on the other wrist I'll write not enough or something.
No, I don't get it.
Or more. I'll go, or even more.
Why don't you get a tattoo of your openers' names? Of your, as you call it, because you're Australian, support acts.
That's weird. When I first got here to America, I'd ring people up and they didn't know, like guys that I'd worked with on the first couple of weekends, and I'd be like, hey, I'm doing this gig. It'd be really nice if you came down to support me. And everyone just thought that I was like really insecure and needed people going, you're doing great.
Yeah, it sounds weird.
So, but that's what it means. So I'd ring them up going, would you like to support me on the weekend?
Okay, Jim, I'll if you need the help, sure.
I'll pay you for the support.
All right.
It's really sad.
But I
read a book with a crying heart.
I only need you to support me, though, for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I need you to support me for 15 minutes. After that, my confidence will be good enough.
Yeah.
I can get through the rest of the show.
Jason Whitehead and Forrest Shaw.
Geared up, man.
If anybody wants to see Jim Jeffries do stand-up, Orlando at the Hard Rock Live in Orlando, that's Thursday, like right now. Thursday, like in a couple days, January 15th, Orlando at the Hard Rock Live. And then my favorite place, Tampa, the Straz Center, Ferguson Hall, January 16th. That's a Friday. Then Saturday, January 17th, Richmond, Virginia at the National. My man, Jim Jeffries. Orlando, Tampa, Richmond,
hang on.
back.
I've got a gig also on the Sunday in St. Louis.
Not a lot of comics play St. Louis. St. Louis, Missouri.
I forgot I had a fourth one, St. Louis, yeah.
So on Sunday, you're at the Pageant Theater, January 18th, St. Louis, Missouri. So
I haven't gigged in a month.
You haven't done any stand-up in a month?
I did like a show on the 3rd at the Improv, just like a solo thing, just to...
It's fun. The Melrose one?
Yeah, I felt a bit rusty, so I went down and thought I'll book in a show to...
I like the Melrose Improv because it's smaller and it's kind of like when they used to do like MTV Unplugs.
And the people there are nice. The staff are nice. And and now that they've got a barbecue place in the front, you get yourself like a brisket sandwich. It's pretty good.
We're easy people, comics. It's amazing when you hear about comics that are just cunts on the road. Like they make the guy pull their hair out. And it's like, it's so easy. You sleep till 1, you wake up, you walk around the town, you get a coffee, you go back to bed, you wake up, and they're like, you want a brisket?
You walk around the town, you're way ahead of what I do.
I gotta find the Starbucks, and then I go back.
What I've started to do now is, I think my support acts think it's because I'm cheap, but it's because I get lonely. I've started sharing rooms with my support acts. Like, I'm a guy, I got a girlfriend, a kid, I'm not sleeping around anymore, so I like the company. I sleep like Bert and Ernie with my acts.
Are you Bert or Ernie?
I reckon I'm Bert, but the thing about it is that's nice is, okay, whenever I wake up, not just my current girlfriend, but any girl throughout my life, you get drunk or whatever, you wake up next to a woman and you don't know if you're in trouble. There's that feeling of doom when that person might be disappointed in something you said to their friend or something like that. But when you wake up to another drunk man in the same bedroom, they always cheer you up as soon as you wake up. They're always like, oh, we were fucked up last night. And there's sort of a smile and a laugh. And
so you actually share a room with your opening act?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever woken up and he's just rubbing his anus, holding a $50 bill?
No, but I have had the occasional wank when I know they're sleeping. I have had the occasion, like one of my support acts, Forrest Shaw, is he's like a husky guy. He's like, if he was gay, he'd be called a bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he sleeps like you're next to a lion, just like this big, like it makes it's really a manly sound that comes out of him.
And that made you want to have a wank?
No, it means that I know he's definitely asleep.
Yeah.
Like no one makes that noise while they're awake.
Are you watching like porno on
my phone or on an iPad or something like that?
What's the number? 877 wank next to bear.
Like, it is sad that I've gotten all this way with my career and I still masturbate off my phone next to a sleeping man.
There's probably no weirder feeling, like right as you're masturbating, you're like, oh, I'm getting away with it, he's asleep. And then right after you ejaculate, you're like, oh, this is horrible.
Oh, yeah, that sadness afterwards. Or if you come and then the support act like leaves it for like 30 seconds and then goes to the bathroom. Like they've been awake and they just know you need some private time. They didn't want to say anything.
And you really just do it because you're lonely.
I'm worse if I'm by myself. I'm masturbating horribly a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I like the company. Yeah, I get lonely very quickly. So I like to have a friend, and it's not for the nighttime sleeping. It's for the daytime.
Goofing off.
Yeah, the daytime goofing off. You're watching game shows and you gamble on fucking Jeopardy or whatever, you know what I mean? Like
good pranks, too.
Yeah,
opening acts, they kind of have to do what you say for the opening.
They have a little bit of their job security is dependent on you. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like... Elvis Presley. The Memphis Mafia. There's not a chance that he didn't treat them like shit for...
Hey, it's Jay Mohr, and please do me a favor. If you're going to shop at Amazon, don't go to Amazon. Go to jmohr.com, click on the Amazon banner. That will redirect you to Amazon. Basically, Amazon, they just want to know that you got there through my website. Email me what you bought. I'll read it on this podcast and make you famous. Amazon banner, jmohr.com. And for crying out loud, buy some T-shirts while you're there, too.
To the insurance company that did me wrong. I've moved on and am happily insured with another. Bless your pea-picking heart. It was just never meant to be betwixt us. You gave me automobile insurance apprehension. And Geico has come along and in just 15 minutes given me new car insurance and made me as jubilant as a newborn lamb in springtime. And Paul has given Geico his approval. That's one thing you never had. Joyful with another. Clara May in Columbia.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't. You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man.
Mohr Stories podcast. Jim Jeffries is back. This is like your fifth time on the podcast.
It feels like more.
Feels like more?
Yeah, if it doesn't feel like... it feels about five's about right. Yeah,
it's like old home week. It's always good when you're on.
Yeah,
you always have great stories and you do the heavy lifting.
I look, every podcast I'm sure I get weaker. I'm sure the stories get thinner and thinner. I must be out of good ones by now.
No, you've had a lot of good stories.
I got a couple for you, actually. I got some.
Let me get your dates done.
From time to time. Like all that, like, hey, you're my best friend. I'll just give you some money so you can... all that type of bullshit.
Do me a favor, man. Put your head in the oven.
Yeah.
See, break the old record at 11 minutes.
Yeah. Walk around and say, I'm a little bitch. Do it. I'm Elvis, and I'm a bit drugged up.
Elvis would have been 80 last week, and then...
80 today was his birthday.
Well, this will come out on Monday. Yeah. What's amazing to me, we're recording on, full disclosure, on a Thursday night.
Sure.
Beautiful on the west side of Los Angeles.
Sorry.
Fake Mustache Studios with Jim Jeffries. JimJeffries.com. It's JEFFE.
Jeffries.
Yes. Do your thing, people, and go see him do his stand-up comedy.
I'm also gigging. I got some gigs that I've just announced, extra dates in Canada, and I got an Australian tour coming up in April, which tickets are on sale now. But in the Canada ones, I'm the first comic to be in the Kitchener gig after Cosby.
What's Kitchener?
Kitchener is a place in Canada.
Well, do you know what province?
I don't know. But the people, people in Kitchener know.
Canada's enormous.
Yeah, I'm going up there.
It's bigger than the United States.
I sell better in Canada than I do in the States.
This podcast, I sell more tickets in Canada than the United States. Like, I can go to Edmonton and sell it out, like 1,500 seats, and it's all podcast.
I like to think that they're more comedy savvy, but it might be that they're just really bored.
Yeah.
I don't want to belittle the Canadian folk, but
I did. Comics go there.
I did like 3,000 tickets in Saskatoon. And people are like, what did you go to Saskatoon for? And I go, because 3,000 people wanted to see me in Saskatoon.
That is the question most asked, I think, of guys like headlining comics, like you, me, guys, it's like, why did you come here? And it's like, well, I work for a fee, and this place hit my fee, and it was so successful, I had to add a show, and then I got my fee again. So
exactly.
Kitchener, a place in Canada. You don't know where it is.
Let's put it this way: Cosby plays it.
It's big.
It's big enough to keep a secret.
Was he able to play there? Or is that one of the ones that got canceled?
This was the one where they all protested out the front and started like booing the people walking into the theater. Like this was last night on the news, so it's like last week.
Audience members.
Yeah, and then some of them were like, "No, I don't think he." I don't know why they're all from the south in this story because they're really northern people. But they were all like, "I don't think he's a really good man," and blah blah blah. You know.
I mean, it is amazing. Like with Cosby,
I'm just going to check the dressing room. I'm going to really check it for rape. Gonna have a look around.
You have like a black light.
It feels like he didn't fuck him. It feels like he was big into drugging and fingering.
And
all in all,
the big thing that I read was he allegedly, of course, he would drug them and then just put his cock in their hands.
Yeah.
When they were sleeping.
Yeah.
It's too bizarre for words.
Would that really be the worst day of your life? Like you would, like I know it's bad. Rape in all forms, for the most part, is bad, right? Don't get me wrong. For the most part,
I mean, for the most part,
it's funny. That's why I say things.
No, I was just leading you down more. Throwing breadcrumbs. Keep going.
Anyway, so but if Cosby's fingering you and you wake up, even if I as a man was being fingered in the ass and I woke up to his face, like his hilarious face.
Jim.
Yeah, going zoom like that at me.
Fingers in the butt, the drugs in the thing, and the bear sleeping in the bed next to you.
Tell me that's the worst day of your life. It's a bad day, but it's like, get out of it, Bill.
Well, to these women, it's obviously the worst day of their lives. They're coming. What I want to know, I would never question a victim or an alleged victim, but it is. Like, if I got raped, I'd be out there the next day, like, banging pots and pans in the street, telling everybody I want the guy to go down.
Sure.
So, some of them were like 18
years.
I
feel like a lot of them at the time thought that they would not be heard.
Yeah.
I think he was a very powerful man when he did most of the raping. I mean, if he did it...
It's a powerful act. It's not a sexual act.
Look, you'd heard the rumors for years, right?
I did, actually, yes.
I'd heard it for years.
Let me be very clear. I never heard rumors about rape. I had rumors that he was had an insatiable sexual appetite.
I heard rumors of, and these are just rumors because these haven't even been brought out, but I heard rumors from different touring